how hard is it to take those decisions? And B, was there any communication given to Yuzi? Because he's probably in our top 5 players of all time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, look, Yuzi was communicated with a huge amount, and I know that because I was the guy on the other end of the phone. So, I spoke to Yuzi, obviously, when we did the initial retention, and, we only retained 3 players because we felt we wanted to try and buy back both Harshal and Yuzi at the auction. And by only retaining 3, it gave us an extra 4 crore to try and do that. So that meant that 4 crore came off the 3 that you retained. Probably the thing that I'm really frustrated about even now is, as you said, Yuzi was probably one of the top 5 players of all time for RCB, but he was also one of the best ever in the IPL. And the fact that he couldn't make the top 2 marquee lists at that time was ridiculous. And the fact that he came in number 65, I think it was, in the auction list, meant that it was really difficult for us to guarantee we were going to get him. And that was something we'd spent a huge amount of time at the mock auctions in terms of, because Harshal was in the marquee group, but Yuzi was way down there. And we knew that through all our mocks that whether we got Harshal or not, and we want to get Harshal as well, he was the purple cap holder, is that we knew we could get bullied later on. So if we saved all our cash and waited for set 12 or whatever it was for Yuzi Chahal, we knew there were 5 other teams that had more money than us. And if we let go of all the bowlers before that, and then we got to bidding for Yuzi, and everyone knew we were going for Yuzi, and we didn't get him, we could have got bullied by 5 other teams and then been left with no leg spinner.
But Mike, you look at this auction as well. If you were at that auction table, you're telling me you would have gone so much for Pat Cummins when you had 23 crores in the kitty. 20 crores, would you have done the same thing?
I never would have bid for Pat Cummins to that level. Never, because you basically show your hand then that's as far as you can go. So therefore, you've got another 2 or 3 teams that know that that's actually all RCB's got. So as long as we keep that much or more in the auction, so they forego a lot of other options in the auction to save more than 23 crore, so that whatever RCB did or whatever, they could outbid them. So I think RCB showed their hands probably too much with the Pat Cummins move. And I can understand why they did it, because once again, they didn't want to end up with nobody. And that's the issue when you buy Cameron Green at 17 crore. You don't go into the auction in a position of strength because you don't have more money than other teams. We've been in some auctions where we've bullied. We were able to get ourselves in that position through releasing players. But I thought after the retention list, RCB were in a really strong position. And then obviously they spent 17 crore on Cam Green, and Cam Green's a fine player, but it changed how they could react in the auction. It made a huge difference.
How much does Virat Kohli play in the auction? In the sense, is he on the call with you? Is he telling you guys some names to get in? Because surely you're thinking Virat, Faf, that leadership group, they want to be involved and invisibly be there. Am I right?
Oh, look, they're involved all the way through. But, once you get to the auction day, the last thing you want is, too many distractions. But you do, you still get, when you have your breaks, you still communicate with people. And obviously all the players are watching the auctions intently. And, Virat and Faf are no different. So there's no doubt that they're sending through thoughts. But also, as I said, you've spent weeks or months preparing, and so many times you've built up, depth charts for different positions. So you also can't be emotive. If you're emotive in an auction, then you can get, you can end up leaving the auction with nothing. And that's really important that you're really strong in terms of how far you're willing to go for certain roles and how far you're willing to push. And if you can get some cheap ones early in the auction, that obviously gives you more money to spend on some of the ones further down. So it's always about pluses and minuses and trying to get yourself ahead of the ledger.
Just to wrap up this auction chat then, Mike, really quickly, was there ever a player which slipped through the net in your eyes where you were like, damn, we should have got him. Damn, this guy would have made a huge difference to RCB, but he ended up going somewhere else?
Oh, I think Tilak Verma was one where, he was on our sort of scouting list, but we're sort of
Why did we get him? We should have got him, Mike.
Yeah, but at the time we went for Rajat Patidar at the time, so it was like, we needed to make a decision on who we were going for. It would have been nice to have another left-hander in the top order. There was a lot of talk that he was susceptible to the short ball domestically, but certainly since he's come to the IPL, he's made every post a winner. So I think he's one that I wish that we'd pushed a little bit harder for. All good in hindsight, but I think he's proven that he's a high quality player, and being a left-hander as well would always be helpful for that. That RCB top order.